What if they had a reason besides graduation to make the murder?
Alright.
And I'm not just talking about
Based on
money.
the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Based on the rules that have been laid out, even if more than one, only the one who actually, assuming the rule holds true, it is...
No, that's wrong.
There were two murders.
Exactly.
It is impossible for him
Since
to
there were
not
two
be
murders,
working with someone.
it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward.
If two
Benefit?
people commit two murders, they can both get out scot-free.
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in the scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime, and based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look.
That's kind of clever, huh?
This whole thing
A
is that
single
shit.
suspicious
Exactly.
individual,
It's kind of why I
a
hated
similar
this trial the
weapon
first time I
used in
saw
each
it. I
crime,
was like,
disappearing
I
bodies.
didn't... Like, what?
By creating one seamless set of
Took me a few
circumstances,
playthroughs to finally figure
they
it
made
out.
it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's
Wow.
just awful! How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
Effort made to convince us the two murders were the same characteristics this time.
Silka must have noticed that back from the very beginning.
Yep.
Which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents.
Yep. Kyoko really is amazing, although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is at this.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved. But then, who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now!
I can put my finger towards one.
Ow. The true killer manipulated him. In the end, murdered him. Based up until now, our case is simple. When you consider all that, there's really only one person who seems fit.
I'll let you make the choice, and I'll see if I was right or wrong. Which I think I am, right? Yep!
Answer.
Yep, it was her!
It's Celeste.
Ah, so I'm
If
the
you've been
suspicious
attention, she's
individual
been
now,
manipulating
am I?
everything all along.
From the very beginning.
I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi.
It was you who supposedly took that picture.
The
Yep.
idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit for brains, that lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot! Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, there is
I
evidence
think your
to
accent
support
slipped a little, Celeste.
Is that
Alright,
so?
yeah.
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
This is that only Hifumi and Celeste encountering the suspicious individual.
Yeah.
The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo-Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Dick.
Sorry.
As he
Don't
said,
apologize.
only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
A shadow, something moving at the top of the stairs.
Which
We headed to the
directed us
second
go
floor
chasing after
specifically
ghosts,
because of what she
essentially.
claimed to have seen.
Bingo.
Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
That was a rather intense scream. Yeah, I was about to comment on that.
Strange costume man.
I also find that it is rather difficult for me to actually confirm that this is all something that I did, in fact, kind of foresee and not just reacting to it as it's happening.
But I will admit, off screen, Legend has been calculating all this stuff, and for the most part, he's been on point for this case.
Surprisingly.
Yeah.
Though I do also admit that I didn't really have a full grasp of how everything
Once
happened.
she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
The scream was her signal. It came from downstairs.
It was to get us to divide into two groups. So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
Yep.
Mhm.
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on.
Yep, exactly as I said.
Completely out of character.
That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the third floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead,
That Hifumi would be murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything. The whole thing was one big act.
Oh, Jesus
Hina,
Christ.
you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kinda sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Uh-huh.
Each piece
Yep.
isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed.
You are
Wouldn't you
having way
agree,
too much fun with
Celeste?
this, dude.
I have no idea what you mean.
I will neither confirm nor deny this.
She is the ultimate gambler. She's got the ultimate poker face, too.
Don't bother
Yep,
trying to
we
deny
have
it.
to smash that with a hammer.
You made
Oh,
one
that just...
fatal
I just realized what I
mistake.
just said. Oh my goodness.
To
I
quote
apologize.
Yzma, smash it with the hammer!
God.
Monokuma, will you pull the lever?
He presses the button, dude.
I didn't
One
even
fatal
catch it
mistake.
myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you
I'm
talking about?
what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
They must be really enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around frightened and confused. We're all going to die here. We're all going to die just like those guys did.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange
She
about
wasn't
it.
talking about the people who died beforehand. She was talking
Then
about...
pay attention. Sakura,
Yeah,
Toko,
the-
and I
the
were
two
first to
guys
discover
who died
Taka's
this
body
time.
in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding.
Oops,
Could
sorry.
you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Makes sense? What's he alluding to?
Alright,
This is another absorption bullet. See?
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it?
What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
those guys.
Yep.
All I said, they must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be. We are going to die.
Just like
Gotcha, bitch.
Though, to be fair, when I first read that line, I interpreted
That's
it
right.
as Leon
There's no
and
reason
Anka.
Celeste should have said,
And
just like
Chihiro
those
and
guys
Sayaka.
died.
Well, Sayaka's not a guy, but
Those guys can be used for as a group, literally.
yes.
When she said that, none
And I
of
mean
us
literally,
had
not
told
as
Taka
literally,
was
but
dead.
literally.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations.
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took?
Staged.
How do you
Staged.
explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
It has to be some kind of setup, right? So let's put the suit on. And then she used the camera's timer to set up
No,
the
you were
picture.
in the picture, man.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No,
Oh, plenty.
there is no other explanation.
I can think of one.
Yeah, you have the freaking cheat codes.
No, that was obvious from the start.
It is. I know, but I'm just joshing.
By the way, only Hifumi could have designed something like this.
Yep.
He says he's into 3D modeling. Hifumi is
I
dragging
got
the
it.
suspect
It's
away.
not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
Yep.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Oh, she's getting feisty. So is that really possible?
Let's hear it, and let's shoot it down.
We're literally shooting down arguments. Alright. If I recall right.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
No,
The
it's
Robo
wrong.
Justice costume, you can't bend at the waist.
Which means it could stand on its own.
No.
Yes.
Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand
Nice
up
try,
like that,
Celeste.
because that Robo Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
Yep.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
Was it a
I'm
mistake?
not so sure that was a mistake.
Thank
I
you,
think the
Kyoko.
suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Ooh, never seen that look of her, huh?
No, this is really, really
Getting
telling.
to her.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd
Sounds like
specially
something
designed
cracked a little.
and stuffed Hero
Oh
into it.
dear.
That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us
We're about to
believe
partake
whoever
in
was in the
maid
suit
mashing.
was to blame.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate?
Ooh, trigger.
I think her world is spinning.
Camera?
I
What?
think my world is spinning. I think, yeah, she's really like
Don't
that
make
right
me
now.
laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
Holy crap, she snapped.
Celeste? Clearly! You want to cram me into your little guilty box.
I think that was supposed to be her middle
One
finger.
little...
Oh, I think it was too.
Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
She's shuffling between her accent and not. We tried to kill you. Yasuhiro.
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro. In other words, Yasuhiro Hakakure!
Wait! But my name isn't really Yasuhiro! It's actually Taro!
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
In other words, shut up, Hero,
He
and
did
let the
say
real
Yasuhiro.
people talk.
Yeah, you already had
But
your
are
2
we
times a day.
sure he was really pointing the finger at Hero?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us.
Think. Legend, I want you to think.
How did
Thinking,
he
but
refer
I'd
to
like
each
you
of
to
us?
I got it! That's right! Our last names! He called us
Remember,
all
he
by
would
our
call us
last
Mr.
names.
Naegi.
Ah, that's right.
I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example. So if Hifumi
So this was
did
completely
mean
out
to
of
say
character.
Hero's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name. Indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No. There's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well,
Oh, I
no.
think it does.
Hold on. There's one person it could apply to, and that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say? To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit! Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you?
You're
Yes.
about to.
Well, do I?
You actually look more like a psychopath than the actual psychopath right now. That is saying something.
What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
No, you haven't.
Then fill us in. What's your real name?
Fine. Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up. My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Celeste won't give up, so then
Have to do something to make her accept it.
there's the one thing we know will have her real name on there.
Her book.
Yep.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
It's gonna be Celeste
I have
who
to tell
goes
you.
ahead and tries to shoot it down.
My name is Celestia Ludenberg. God damn it!
It's upside
How long do you
down.
plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending.
Wow.
It's the
I
truth.
can tell who
And
actually
since
said
you
that
have
one.
no way to contradict me.
No.
I
it's
noticed
not.
that there were two crosses right there.
Yep.
It's almost telling you which one
That's
it is.
it. The handbook.
What?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before.
Yep.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because
Like a chicken at the
the
end.
game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then. Let me settle it. Let me go over the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all your crimes. And that'll bring everything to an end.
You know what? I think I just realized where our buddy Makoto actually falls under the judicial system.
Where?
I would say he's prosecution.
Makoto?
Yeah.
Alright.
Though, I don't know. Like, if I were to put it just to... Everyone is kind of acting as prosecution and jury at the same time.
Prosecution and defense.
Prosecution, defense, and jury. What is that picture doing back here again?
What?
Oh, let me guess. They actually add on
Yeah.
all of the old
They
stuff.
add some of the old stuff to kind of confuse you.
Ah, that's...
Yeah, so we'll see
Bullshit.
you when we're done with this, okay? Here we go.
Here's
All right,
exactly
let's see.
what happened.
Let's see.
Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was... Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes. First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning. That someone they met with was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. So when they met up with him, they drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room.
God, that's a creepy face.
And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder. The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims, to solidify Robo Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1, and the Robo Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and an injured Hifumi to sell us that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. But while we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator.
God damn it,
and Justice
Hifumi.
Hammer 3
That's hilariously animated.
and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office. And once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room. He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is... Celeste. Sorry, you lose.
Oh boy.
Lost?
Gotcha, bitch.
Lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Like that albatross.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no. Taeko Yasuhiro is fine.
Taeko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Interesting.
You certainly clawed at the very end, though. And there we go.
Oh God.
So, what'd you think?
It's not over.
Nope. We still got an execution to go through.
God help us.
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin. Or, no, I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote. Okay? Okay. If you would, please locate your lever and cast your
Oh, right,
vote.
we pulled the lever.
And when the votes are tallied, who will become the Blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Alright, let's see what the jackpot is this time. Like we don't already know. Yep, it's the Gothic Lolita. Oof. And the voice acting budget is gone.
It's basically a formality at this point, but once again, you're totally correct.
The Blackened this time, the true killer who devised the whole stinking scheme was Celestia Lunenberg, or more precisely, Taeko Yasuhiro.
Honestly.
I lost. Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's no longer using the accent. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Ifumi's ineptitude was beyond all my calculations.
I knew it.
So you really did approach Ifumi with this plan. But how did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would have happily agreed to commit murder.
I'm sure she relied on her specialty, lying. My specialty? Don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to get him to agree.
So then,
Then did you use,
I knew you'd figure it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. Get Ifumi to act as my accomplice?
Indeed.
I used her. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but it was the one thing Ifumi and Taka were both super into.
Does she mean... Is she talking about alter ego?
Say what?
What? What are you all talking about?
just a second.
Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here.
I'm totally out of the loop, as usual. How
In
sad.
other words,
Then you're the one who stole it.
Indeed.
That's right.
I see.
And you used it to drag Ifumi into the plan you'd come up with.
Right again. Last night, after we had our meeting about how it disappeared, I paid Ifumi a little visit.
What are you doing here?
Actually,
I was hoping I could talk to you alone. It's about what was stolen. I know who did it.
are
What?
you okay with this?
It was Taka. He stole it.
What?
So then,
And I have proof. Would you like to see it? As it turned out, I had a use for the digital camera. I'd taken you-know-what to Taka's room earlier and took pictures of it there. I deleted the pictures as soon as I showed it to Hifumi, of course.
Damnation!
So it was him. But how did he do it? She was supposed to yell if either of us got close to her.
You are correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal
Say
it.
what?
What?
as for me,
Please forgive me. He threatened me.
He
as
did?
for me,
He came to my room last night unannounced, and then it's hard for me to even say. He abused me.
Oh God, really? I am so sorry, Ifumi.
And he took pictures. He said if I did not do as he asked, he would show them to everyone. I had no choice.
Damnation!
That's a crime! Absolute crime! I knew he got a little crazy, but
Say what?
I never imagined he would go that far!
It was amazing how completely he bought it. I can't express how enjoyable that was.
I'm about to say something I've never said before in my life.
please,
I'm going to kill him! I'm going to fucking kill him!
most unfortunate.
Wait. If you go right now, you will be playing right into his hands.
Huh?
Actually,
Taka is planning to use her to escape, and he has made you his target.
Escape? You don't need.
Taka is going to try to kill you,
What?
indeed.
and also he can keep her here to himself.
That bastard!
Leave
Bastard!
Honestly,
Can we allow him to continue with these barbaric acts?
Absolutely not! How could I? She...
Oops, sorry. Phone.
Whoops.
Yep.
Leave me hanging here.
Sorry.
Swear it!
I have to save her!
actually,
Ben, would you like to join me? It just so happens I've come up with a plan.
Huh?
Do that.
I have devised a way to reclaim what he has stolen and escape this dreadful school. And with that, it is complete.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Oh, nothing. Hifumi agreed without a second thought. The effect that item had on him was remarkable. The power of love. Even a love as twisted as that can still drive people mad, it would seem.
You disgust me.
I see.
I have another question for you. Was that strange costume Hifumi's creation?
indeed.
Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt, too. All I asked him to do was make something to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he'd make something like that. It's my fault for picking him in the first place.
But
So, why'd you decide to make me the suspect?
Because you're stupid.
That's it?
Let's see.
And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must be tough on your parents, though.
I feel like I could cry.
But when you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you explain the part about him playing dead? What she's asking is, what was Hifumi supposed to do after that, assuming you had actually let him live?
Are you okay with it?
That's simple. After he did his part to pretend to be dead, once someone showed up, I told him to say he'd been seriously wounded. He was on the verge of death, but he just barely held on.
He really believed that?
Well, of course. That wasn't all there was to it. As I explained to Hifumi, the plan was, while you were all questioning him about what had happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Hifumi would have an alibi so no one could doubt him. I told him that, and he believed it.
It all seems very straightforward, stereotypical.
I just matched the lie to the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate it up. Like, he believed the lie wholeheartedly right until the moment of his death.
So in the end,
So you had planned to kill him all along.
But of course, there would have been no point for my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself.
How can human life mean so little to you?
Well,
That is a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to
don't be
win.
mean.
Now you sound like Byakuya!
I wonder about that.
No, he derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we're nothing
Why?
alike.
Then what made you take things this far?
Was it really just for money?
Are you talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered us? That is a lot of money, it's true. But that's not all there is to it. From the moment our new life here began, my only thought has been escape.
But all along he was saying how we had to accept living
You
here.
little bitch.
Obviously that was a lie!
Hey!
I couldn't take it! I hated it from day one! More than anyone else here!
You little bitch.
I wanted to get out! Every day was fresh torture! And you want to know why,
This
huh?
is fine.
Because I had a dream. And accepting a life here would have meant nothing less than giving up on my dream forever.
Understood.
There is no other way that I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make a metaphorical
As for
killing.
me,
And it was all for that dream. And what was this dream of
Isn't it
yours?
wonderful?
We're gonna get to know you before we kill you. To live in a castle.
A castle? And to gather handsome men from all over the world to serve as my butlers/bodyguards. I was going to make them dress up like vampires and satisfy my every need. Well, she has an aesthetic.
Yes, she does.
Once
No.
God damn. Once I had attained that, I would have created a perfectly aesthetic world
This
of
is fine.
decadence. Living the rest of my life, there was my only dream, my only goal. And
That's what life is all about!
God damn. Combined with my own winnings, Monaco's $10 million would have made that dream a reality. I'd got right to the
There is
edge,
nothing
but
to be done.
unfortunately my dream had been scattered to the winds. I still don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream till the very end, so why would I?
Just the worst.
You sound so passionate, but you were really able to kill your own friends for it?
Oh,
Are you asking me to feel guilty? That's a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of sacrificing others for my own ends. I feel
do
nothing.
you understand?
That is all there is to me. That's what makes me complete. Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for
What
understanding.
is this?
That's what we should be saying. Plus, how can you be so calm? Don't you realize you're about to die? Why aren't you scared?
My ability to lie is unrivaled, and I take pride in that. It's not just other people. I can even fool my own emotions. The conscious deceives the unconscious.
That's why you're not scared.
Yes, indeed.
That's right. I do not fear death. Kill me however you like. But, you know, if I could be reincarnated, if I had a choice
Isn't it
then,
wonderful?
I think I would like to come back as Marie Antoinette.
Hey.
You'd just get executed again.
Celeste smiled then, and when she did, it looked like a poor effort to force it. She claimed she could fool her own feelings, but that statement itself had been her final lie. And that weak, fake smile is what betrayed her.
Thrills! Chills!
Are you all done?
thrills!
Okay, let's get rolling. The black and disrupted the peace. They must pay a
Well
price.
then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For the ultimate
Let's
gambler.
give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
I guess
Oh,
I'll let Kyoto
God.
hold on to this. What? Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way. Which is why... Actually, it's not important. Well then... Take care, everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
Here we go.
This is going to be the first time a female gets executed.
Yep,
Oh dear.
it's going to be a rough one.
Yep. Oh no.
The burning of the Versailles Witch.
Oh no. Well then.
She was supposed to die elegantly, like burning a witch at a stake. But instead, she died in a car crash, as common as her name. The ultimate despair.
Oh my gosh.
There's a reason why I really like this execution.
I don't think I like any execution at this point.
It's over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 if you count Monokuma.
He doesn't count as anything.
Third execution is over. Celeste's death is over. Celeste killed my friends, so I can't pity her, but I also can't deny that at one point I considered her a friend, too. And for him to come along and...
Isn't it just awful? Someone couldn't cut free of their regrets from the outside world, and so more people had to die.
Extreme!
You guys are still young! You need to place more value on your lives!
What are you gonna do?
Jeez, here I thought you guys were gonna pass the torch of hope to the next generation.
Let me out of here!
What do I care about hope? I'll throw it in the trash if you let me out of here.
Dad.
You're all the embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. It is my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad, yes it is, but that reality just can't be avoided.
Don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you going to make us keep going through this? What do you want from us?
God, I'm so sick of people asking me that! Give me a rest already! So anyway, Kyoko, did I see you get some kind of key-type object from Celeste?
Hey!
So, what's the deal with that?
What?
What's the
So
matter?
then,
I'll answer your question if you answer mine.
you...
What did you do? What did you do to me?
Ooh.
What?
Hey,
Answer me. What did you do to my body?
Ooh.
What? Oh man, oh jeez, oh man, oh jeez. What do you mean, what did I do? I have no idea. I don't know anything about it.
What was that just now? The mastermind did something to Kyoko's body. What does that mean?
Okay, things are kind of getting awkward. I think it's about time I got out of here.
Well,
Meanwhile, you guys can go on enjoying your school life. If you get lonely, give me a shout. Not that I'll do anything about it, of course.
see ya later!
See ya!
Monokuma disappeared, leaving us depressed and in despair. Although, it wasn't all despair, there was one small hope. Hey Kyoko, Monokuma mentioned it, but was that the key? Was that the key that
So-
Celeste gave you?
Most likely, it's the key to one of the dressing room lockers.
Then that means,
Celeste probably hid it in there.
I suppose sometimes it's easy to miss what's right beneath your nose. Well then, we better go
Indeed.
check.
Good idea. We're just going to be trading back and forth.
Yeah.
Alright.
We left to the courtroom and rushed to the dressing room. We approached the dressing room. Kyoko looked back at us and said,
I'm going to go on alone from here. Everyone else head to the dining hall. I'll check in with you later.
What?
What exactly are you going alone?
so...
Do you even have to ask? Actually,
yeah.
shoot.
As she spoke, she glanced quickly at the
Come
surveillance
on.
camera.
It's not what I meant. Why you? There's still the risk of a spy, you know.
Then I'll go
What?
too.
You?
Please, let me go.
Standing here arguing is just going to draw more attention to
Goodbye.
us. Do whatever you want.
Thank you, Byakuya. Then it's up to you now.
You!
I'm going to go to the dining hall, okay?
Huh? So Makoto and Kyoto are going to go together? Does that mean what I think it means? Good luck, Makoto. Girls like her are total pushovers when you show a little backbone.
I tried to forget what's in his head.
Everyone headed to the dining hall, leaving me and
Shall we
Kyoko there
go?
alone.
Shall we?
Yeah.
So then,
We need,
We need to get into that locker.
Kyoko took the key Celeste had given her and unlocked the locker. As she swung the door open, we saw...
Good morning.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Say, thank goodness.
I've never heard Kyoko sound so relieved. It was like she was speaking from the bottom of her heart. I did what Celeste asked. I didn't say a word. I stayed quiet the entire time. Oh, and I think I might be able to open the last set of files soon. Maybe earliest tomorrow. I'm doing my best, so please just wait a little while longer.
So, now we can officially say the case is closed.
As far as this incident is concerned, sure, but... Can we talk a second? Since we have this opportunity, I want you to be honest with me. Kyoko, please tell me, what are you trying to do all on your own here at the school?
Is that why you wanted to come here with me?
however,
Regardless, that's not something you need to know right now.
I don't need to know. That just makes me even more worried.
Worried?
Like what happened during the investigation this time. You disappeared. We didn't see you again. Without warning, without explanation? When you
Indeed.
did that,
It's only natural that they think I'm the mastermind spy, right? And you too.
no! I believe in you.
You believe in me?
Isn't it obvious people believe in their friends, right? That's why I want you to tell me. And I want you to believe in me too. Because we're friends.
I understand.
It's true.
Then maybe I can believe in you. Just a little bit more.
That's
Then-
fine.
Fine. I'll tell you. I'll tell you why I've been disappearing and where I've been going. You see... Oh, you're not going to cliffhanger me, are you?
Okay, when I heard from Kyoko then was, well, frankly, it kind of blew my mind. Right after I told Kyoko I believe in her, she told me a story that was, well, almost unbelievable. I decided I had to confirm what she told me with my own 2 eyes, so I waited for nighttime to come. And when I did, I went into action.
Correct.
The boys' bathroom on the second floor doesn't have a surveillance camera or monitor in it. And in the storage closet there, way in the back...
She said it was... Can Kyoko be right about this?
What was she doing in the boys' bathroom?
Smoking in the boys' room. We explored here before.
It's just a normal storage closet as far as I can tell. The secret Kyoko told me about. Could it really be here?
She said it was in the back of the storage closet. I mean, seriously, without thinking, I placed my hand on the back of the storage closet, and suddenly, as if I were being yanked in,
A secret panel. Ka-chunk!
at the same time I heard that sound, I fell through the wall. I had no idea what was going on. Falling through the back of the storage closet? Huh? It turned out, the back of the wall was like a revolving door, and I made my way to the other side, just like Kyoko had said.
Correct.
In the boys' bathroom on the second floor, there's a storage closet. And way in the back of that closet, there's a secret room.
So this is the secret room. Just what is in here?
Time to investigate!
There's a bunch of files and what looks like volumes and volumes of yearbooks. They're all covered in dust. Looking at everything, one file at the edge of the bookshelf caught my eye. Hope's Peak Academy Student Registry. There's one thing not covered in dust. Has someone been looking at it recently?
I can only imagine one person.
I slipped the file in my hand before I had a chance to look at it. A slip of paper fell out of the file and I turned my attention to it.
You must not leave.
That's kind of weird. I could not understand. Like, I can't leave, but you must not leave? What is this? My head feels funny. Strange sensation. It's like deja vu. Those words, you must not leave. I've seen them somewhere before, but I can't quite remember. What do I know? What don't I know? What the flying? A strange sound rang through my head. Felt like it was shaking my brain back and forth, and then darkness. I don't understand what's happening. I don't know what started it. It's all over, and with that, I opened my eyes. I don't know how long it'd been.
And all of it is gone.
Oh, apparently something hit me and I lost consciousness. That's all I understood. The dull throbbing pain proved that much at least. An empty bookshelf. Empty? Gone. It's all gone. Yearbooks, the student registry, and even the note that had fallen on the floor. It's all gone?
Except for one pile of tissues and a bunch of crumpled papers on the ground.
My brain refused to work anymore, and the insistent pain in my head began spreading across the rest of my body. For now, I should go back to my room, get some rest. Oh god, Kyoko is going to be pissed.
Well, she might also be really concerned that, someone was there and knocked him out.
My body was heavy with pain, my mind heavy with thought. I dragged myself back to my room.
Unless she's the one who did the knocking out.
Somehow I made it back to the first floor of the school.
Yeah.
The farther I walked, the more I fell. Things are getting blurry, can't see in front of me. Couldn't stop myself from collapsing right there. And after that... From the vast distance I heard a sound. Faint but undeniable. That sound. It's coming from the gym? As I desperately hauled my shaky frame towards the gym, the sound got stronger and stronger.
Okay. Yeah.
What's going on? Can't be nothing. Here in the gym?
The mystery thickens.
Didn't make a sound as I opened the door to the gym. Sounds from the inside, meanwhile, only intensified that much more.
I'm not even going. What?
Before me, there raged battle beyond anything humanly possible. One side's human, that's for sure, but I'm not sure.
One side's not human, that's for sure, but regardless, I couldn't stop staring.
I forgot to move or even breathe.
Why, you? What do you think you're doing? I asked you a question. What's the meaning of this? How dare you defy me? This wasn't part of the deal!
I've made a
Deal?
decision. I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Okay, but you do realize what will happen if you go through with this, right? You haven't forgotten, have you? What I'm holding hostage?
The hell?
What am I looking at? What am I hearing? A hostage? Then could it be? The mastermind spy is...
With that, we end chapter 3.
The next generation legend, Stand Tall Galactic Hero, is over. 7
Yeah.
remain.
We had 3 more to the pile.
To be continued.
With that, ladies and gentlemen,
Oh boy, we get the Super Robo Justice figure as a present.
that would be an absolutely terrible gift after everything we just went through.
Later, guys. We'll see you in the next episode.
Ciao. Holy crap.